After 13 miles of traveling around this island looking for burrowing owls,
It was Jordan's 250th bird. Good morning and welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited because me and Bright Eyed Birding are meeting up again. Last time we met up, we found a gilded flicker, which was only the second time it had ever been in Utah and the farthest north it had ever been. So hoping for some more fireworks today, that's for sure. We are heading out to a state park, Antelope Island State Park, in hopes of seeing a number of species, mainly burrowing owl. They have nesting sites throughout the state park, which is super cool. So hoping we can come across some burrowing owls. I also really want to see a ringneck pheasant, so about to meet up with him soon, and yeah, we'll have a day. And the day started with a bang for me. I got my first bald eagle of the year for the challenge. Apologize for the horrid shots, it was so windy out today. Then we saw some ducks as we were driving in. Most of them were redhead, though there were a few others too. But just check out this wind, it was so bad. This is what we're dealing with today. You probably can't even hear me. Surprise! Not many people know, but there's a herd of bison that live within Utah. Antelope Island State Park manages a herd of bison that are between 500 to 700 at any given point. They kind of own the island and roam around. You can even see them usually from the visitor center, coming within 20 feet of the roads. They're pretty unique, super cool. Every year the state park also rounds them up to give them vaccinations and do some other conservation efforts. Now I love seeing these bison. I had to take a few shots of them. But our main goal today was birding, not looking for bison, so we moved along and started checking the burrowing owl nesting boxes. This is another really cool thing that the state park does, where they set up and build about 27 different nesting boxes for these burrowing owl species to use. We were checking as many as we could see from the road, but not having any luck. Now it's hard to spot and find these boxes because they aren't mapped anywhere for good reason. They want to protect the owls, but with each one we checked we were just finding rocks and nothing else. So we continued along to the southern end of the island. Wait, hold on. Go back. Do you see that there? I didn't notice this at the time, but the owl was actually there in the morning and we almost missed it. I couldn't believe it when I looked back at my footage. That just goes to show how hard it is to spot these little guys. But don't worry, we'll come back to these nesting boxes later in the day and get some better looks at them. I was pretty jacked up to see the ringneck pheasant that counted towards my Utah Birds challenge. We also saw a bunch of horned lark, but I just could not get any good shots of them with the wind and everything. But that still counts towards my challenge because I don't need to get it on camera. We moved along to Garr Ranch, which is towards the southern end of the island, in hopes of finding some more species because at this point we were kind of striking out. The woods around Garr Ranch are a prime location for a lot of birds to come in between, so we were checking all the trees and looking for any perching birds, trying to listen for songbirds, but weren't having a ton of luck. And then we took a peek in the barn and finally got a spark species for the day. Kind of kicked off a series of events that saw us picking up a lot more birds. Turned out this bird was a lifer for me too, and counts towards my Utah Birds challenge. Super cool to watch this Say's Phoebe, and I spent a lot of time with it, filming it and taking a couple of photos too. As you can probably tell by the trees whipping around, the wind was still insane at this point. It was making it a tough day for birding for us, harder to find species and probably hard for the birds too. Just look at this beautiful kestrel hanging onto its perch for dear life. We didn't see a whole lot on the way here. We checked a bunch of nesting boxes, but in and around this forest, we are picking up a few species. We've seen some robin, pretty sure a spotted towhee, and then a Say's phoebe as well, which is pretty sweet. That's a first for me, and that one counts toward the challenge, so pumped up about that. We felt pretty good picking up all those species, but we really wanted the owl, so we went back to check the nesting boxes, and there it was. My eyes didn't deceive me this time. It was not in fact a rock, it was our burrowing owl. So awesome. Well, we got the goal accomplished. I've seen a pheasant fly away, pretty sure it was a female pheasant, and now we got the burrowing owl. Both the species I was targeting today, so awesome to see them. I was looking off into some of the nest boxes that they build here in Antelope Island, and I saw what looked like a suspicious rock at first, and I started taking a closer look. I'm like, wait, that might be the owl we're looking for. Lo and behold, it was. And even more exciting was it was Jordan's 250th bird, which is awesome. So make sure to give his channel a look. He's gonna have a video on the burrowing owl as well. That's Bright-Eyed Birding, so go check that out. But just super stoked overall. Such a big bird for both of us. Day wasn't quite done though. We came across a great horned owl. It looked pretty stressed though with its ear tufts up, and it was peeking out, not sleeping, likely because it was getting buffeted by the high winds. But we kept our distance. We were about a few hundred yards away, and we left really quickly just to give it that space it needed. But just to show off some of those high winds, here's us at the north end of the island basically getting blown away. It was crazy.
This is nuts!
Because the storm was rolling in, we continued along on our way out of the island and stopped to look at a few duck species floating around in the water. There's some canvasback, redhead, some common goldeneye as well, but one I want to call out is a lesser scaup in the middle of the screen. That's a new one for me. The ducks were definitely struggling in the high wind. We watched them for a little bit more before calling it a day on our adventure. All right, that's a wrap on the adventure at Antelope Island. Saw so many birds that count towards my species. Thank you as always to Jordan from Bright-Eyed Birding. Go check out his channel. Links, of course, will be in the description. What did you think of the day?
Absolutely amazing. We had some pretty horrible weather, but running into that burrowing owl was probably the best thing that could have happened today. So just super excited overall.
Yeah, same to me. I'll echo all of that. My first ever burrowing owl, his first ever burrowing owl. So just such an awesome experience. But thank you. As always, I appreciate you for watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next one.